Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me here at the WITN First Alert Desk at 8 o'clock. I'm Gigi Barnett. Thanks so much for being here. Happy Veterans Day. Just want to say thank you to all of those who have served our country. Thank you for your bravery, your dedication, your sacrifice. And I hope many of you are able to go out and celebrate today with many of the ceremonies happening around Eastern Carolina. I know some things are getting started pretty early in the next half hour or so. I know that there's a parade out in Williamston. So maybe you could check that out, but there are so many other events happening around ENC. You could check out our website for some of those other events. I know a few of them in Greenville, Farmville happening at 11 o'clock today. Many things, and then there are also those freebie options at many of the restaurants. I know McDonald's is offering a free breakfast combo meal. Wawa is offering free coffee for all of our veterans, active U.S. military. So thank you again for your service as we honor you today on this Veterans Day. Before we dive into the rest of the forecast, we do have a story about the Morehead City mayoral race. Last week, as we know, was election day, and after the votes were counted, we found that in the mayoral race there was just a 1 vote difference. So the incumbent mayor has filed an election protest. So we have been looking into that and seeing what will happen in the next coming days. We know that the recount will be happening on Friday. So let's take a look at this story.
The phrase "every vote counts" definitely comes into play for Morehead City's mayoral race after their municipal election, where candidate Lee Stiles came out on top by 1 vote against incumbent Mayor Jerry Jones. But Jones has now filed an election protest with the Board of Elections after voters reached out to him.
And I started getting calls from people that they were denied their right to vote, their constitutional right to vote. They said they were told that they did not live in Morehead City. They said, "We do live in Morehead City." But they backed them down and said, "You do not."
Jones has been mayor of Morehead City since 1999, and he says his decision to file the election protest and the recount is because he wants to look out for everyone who voted. For Stiles, he says if he were in Jones' shoes, he would also want a recount.
I don't blame Mayor Jones for requesting a recount. If I was down 1 vote, I would have requested a recount as well.
However, Stiles questions the timing of the alleged irregularities being brought forward by Jones supporters.
His supporters should have contacted the Board of Elections office in Carter County the day of. Don't wait till after the provisional votes were counted and your candidate is down 1 vote and now you're saying that there's irregularities.
Morehead City uses the nonpartisan plurality method, which means a candidate receiving the highest number of votes wins, and there are no runoffs even if no candidate receives more than 50% of the vote.
All right, so like I just mentioned, they are going to do that recount this Friday, so we'll see how everything pans out. But why don't we talk about weather? We've had a really busy morning here. Thank you to everyone who has sent us some photos of the snow that you saw this morning. A few areas in our market were able to see some snowfall. Really great pictures. We just got one of a dog that I cannot wait to actually look into. I just briefly saw it. So very, very wonderful. Thank you all again for sending those in.
It's amazing. This is definitely the water cooler topic of the day. And when we get a little snow, and most of you missed it, but those that got it, what a treat.
Yeah.
From Highway 64 north this morning. And like you said, I'm getting a ton of photos on my Facebook site, trying to get all those downloaded and sharing with folks. But just a beautiful sight. And what a way to start our Veterans Day, really, with a little blanket of white. Let's talk about the radar first, and I'll show you where the snow was. Right there, that radar backs up 4 hours. Didn't last long, but it was persistent enough right there where it came through to get a good solid dusting to maybe a ½ an inch. Again, areas generally, and I'm generalizing here, along and north of Highway 64. I've heard of snow on the ground in Columbia, some snow on the ground in Washington County, Martin County, Bertie County, points north. There's probably inland Dare County. I would imagine some areas coated with little snow there as well. That's a beautiful shot. I love it because the flag is out for Veterans Day. Susan did a great job capturing the little covering of snow in the yard. And again, the road, the walkway are good. All the snow melted on the concrete surfaces. And we mentioned earlier, Gigi was talking about maybe a little ice on a bridge or two reported by Was that law enforcement?
Yeah, it was the Martin County Sheriff's Office. They did post just a report of conditions on the roads over there. Most of the roads are looking pretty clear, but you do need to be just cautious and aware, especially if you're using any bridges. US 1317, that bridge into Bertie County, that's currently closed because of the conditions out there.
Yeah, and this wasn't a big crippling snow event by any stretch of the imagination. This is more of the good kind of snow where it's there for a few hours. You get to enjoy the visual aspect of it because we just don't get a lot of snow here. So when it happens, it's a big deal. Thank you, Scott, Sarah, for that shot. There's another one up there in Bertie County of that covering of light snow. Keep the pics coming. We appreciate all of them. Thanks, guys. And again, for our Veterans Day, with that out, it's blue skies and cold temps. One of the coldest day, not one of. This will be the coldest day in probably over 6 months. I didn't get a chance to go back and look at the numbers. You can see the freeze warnings now going away. For most of Eastern Carolina, they're gone as temperatures easing above freezing. Still holding on back to the west on the freeze warnings. There's the air temps right now. Whew! Mid-30s to low 30s, wind 15, current wind chill value, mid-20s. That's what it feels like walking out. Bundle up. You're going to outdoor events for Veterans Day, honoring our vets. A couple of layers, 2-3 layers, a hat and gloves. You'll need them. Anybody outside for any period of time, for that matter. We'll get out of this tomorrow, hit a 60 for you tomorrow afternoon. It'll be cold tomorrow morning again, and then we turn the corner. We're out of it tomorrow afternoon and stay out of the chill. Until further notice, I would say. By the weekend, mid-60s Saturday, low 70s Sunday, plenty of sunshine. A little rain chance sneaks in Monday, Tuesday. That may change. That's a long ways out. I think the big story, obviously, today, the cold air, although our first alert weather status going away now as we come out of the freeze warning. But growing season officially over. We're done. Everything will be dying, most stuff anyway, as we go through the next few days after this morning freeze.
Yeah, well, nice to see that this is not sticking around for long. I'm not ready for these January-like temperatures already. It's November. We have to keep, enjoying the fall temperatures. Although it's nice to see the pictures of the winter wonderland. Let's keep it for fall right now.
Like I said, this is a good snow.
Yes, exactly.
It wasn't much. Didn't impact any commutes. And most of the kids off, so if they got up early enough, because the snow, probably what was there may not be there anymore already. But you had enough time for a few hours without having to worry about catching a school bus to go out and throw a few snowballs. If you're really diligent and patient, you probably could have made a snowman in some spots. That was a long shot, but nevertheless, nice to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jim, well, thank you for the update, and thank you all for joining us this morning. Hope you all have a wonderful Veterans Day. Stay warm out there. Have a good one.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Toyota of Goldsboro.